Hey, let's go.
All right, we're back. We've got episode 3, Chitown Lowdown. Looking at a few things on the docket today. We've got coaches, field situation, running back room, looking at draft picks and some other things, offensive line. So, let's just jump right into it. Jesse, taking us away.
Yeah, why not? So Eberflus, to this point in the year, I think there are a lot of question marks about his future in Chicago. And it is still happening, even though the Bears look like they've might have turned a corner and are playing a little better. So my personal thoughts are he's not gone at the end of the year. He's here next year. I think Fields is our quarterback next year as well. I like what I'm seeing out of him lately. I think the defense is playing a lot better, and offensively, the game plans just seem to make more sense, focusing on the run game and not letting the quarterback Bajent take too many risks. So I like what I'm seeing, and I'm willing to let it ride out through the end of the year. And I think it's going to end well, and we'll see him next year on the sideline for the Bears.
That's a pretty hot take to say that the both Fields and Flus are both going to be there next year. I don't think you share that opinion with many people. Tom, what are you thinking?
Yeah, so I agree with Jesse about the defense. I think since he's at the helm and they've gotten healthy, I have seen, as a Bear fan, I've seen some changes. Will he be here next year? It's hard to tell right now.
You're saying he's got some boxes he needs to check. What was he needs to go
so
with?
I think, if he doesn't go 7-10 this year, he's going to be the worst coach in Chicago Bears history. So that's saying something. I mean, I think we get him out of there. We got to get him out there. As for Justin Fields, I think we time's going to tell. With he has a healthy offense, and if he's not producing, we got draft picks.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's tough for me as to Eberflus. I feel like Poles has made it pretty apparent that Eberflus is his guy, and that I don't see Poles firing Flus himself. A lot of talk about trust the process and that sort of thing, which, I mean, I do agree with. Obviously as fans, we expect results to happen overnight, or we would like for results to happen overnight. I would, at least speaking for myself. I think you made a point with the injuries as well, Tom, where it's like we're playing healthy in a lot of positions for the first time in a long time, where it's like, you need to be a well-oiled machine, where it's kind of a hot take by me, but in the preseason, I was saying that the Bears aren't really that far away from being the Kansas City Chiefs, not as like an organization and franchise, but like the players on the field.
You said that?
I wasn't on record saying it, thankfully. But I was, said it to Dad and stuff like that. But I mean, if you got Fields that can sling it around a little bit, he's a mobile, athletic quarterback. Okay, who does that look like? Guy in Kansas City. You got receiving tight end Cole Kmet, who's been putting a few games together. He is definitely not a Travis Kelce, but he's a dynamic threat at the tight end position, as you've been seeing over the last few weeks. And I mean, if we start to spread the field out, then you have all of those pieces working in conjunction, where like when we weren't healthy before, you could pick apart our secondary because we had third string guys in our secondary on third down, and teams knew how to expose our weaknesses. And, once we get a lot of those guys back, we're going to be pretty stout in a lot of ways. I am very excited for to see how Fields plays now with this offensive line coming back and remaining to be healthy. Definitely a little bit interested as to see where the pieces will fall in terms of who's going to be playing where. But I mean, the potential for Fields to come back and crush it behind what looks like a lot more tenured, at least they're more familiar with playing with each other. I'm excited to see what he does in Detroit at Ford Field.
Yeah, I agree. I think, as long as he's healthy and he's not trying to rush back and the hand's all good, I think he gives Detroit's defense some problems. But
you have the game plan for sure.
Did you make a did you have an opinion about whether Flus was going to be back or Fields was going to be back? I don't think I heard that.
Yeah, I guess I didn't get that out.
You swerved that.
I want Fields to be back. I don't think that he will be in terms of the value that's going to be available in the draft if you can get a good quarterback that's a plug and play option for cheap. But I don't know if his resale value is extremely high. So could I see the Bears shelling out for him? Sure. I just don't, I'm close on it. I could see it either way.
What do you think we could get for a trade for Fields?
I think people are saying like 4th or 5th round pick.
Man. A lot of teams need quarterbacks, man.
He's been out for like 11 games in his 3 years that he's played. He's been kind of delicate.
Well, we're past the trade deadline at this point, so we don't need to talk about what people are willing to give up for Fields.
Yeah. And then the Flus one I'll make quick. Sure. Yeah.
Flus. You think he's gonna be back?
You like him?
Yeah.
No, I don't like him. I think he's a freaking weirdo.
I think
he's going to be there. I think he's going to be there. I don't like him. I think he's going to be there. As a Bears fan, I have never ceased to be disappointed in the decisions that the front office makes. So,
to me, it feels like they're still in the middle of this rebuild that they were in when they originally acquired Fields, and here we are, 2.5 years later, and we're not seeing any fruits of that, destruction of the roster and rebuild. And it doesn't seem like there's a lot of as much cohesiveness on both sides of the ball as you would expect this far out from the beginning of that rebuild. But, I don't know if you just blow up the organization and you fire the head coach and you get rid of the franchise quarterback, that you thought Justin Fields was going to be. That's why I think they got to stick with him at least another year. It's been kind of a weird year with a lot of guys on defense not playing well at the beginning of the year, but now it seems like they're starting to play well together. And so
you know what I like to see. I think, I agree. I think we keep Justin, but get an offensive-minded coach in there. See
what Matt Nagy
I can do. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Tom. No, I agree. I honestly do agree. That was
Nagy was the coach when we won the NFC North in 2018. So let's not bash Nagy too much. I think he gets a little bit too much.
Nagy.
Yeah, I mean,
not on the agenda, but I love.
I don't like when he gets roasted. We do have coaches on there, so
I agreed with the take. I think an offensive-minded coach. I think that makes a lot of sense, and maybe we hire a defensive coordinator. And yeah.
So moving on to Fields, more of a focus on Fields, or putting him under a microscope here. How do we think he comes back from the injury? I kind of already touched on it. Tom, what do you think he's gonna do in Detroit and throughout the rest of the season here?
Well, I do see Eberflus saying he's not for sure playing yet. They need more time. But if he were to come back this week,
he's playing tricks.
Yeah,
tricks with the media.
He's unsure. And
it's a guy like I said earlier, it's a guy you have to game plan for. So he probably, if he can help it, he doesn't want to.
What was the question, Jesse? What would I like to see?
How's he gonna do this weekend if he does play in Detroit coming off the injury? And how do you think he finishes the season out?
I think the Bears will come out run heavy, short, quick passes, get him going in the rhythm of the game. He's been out for 4 weeks, right? So I'd like to see that. I hope he stays in that clean pocket that Bajan's been getting. I hope he's not too fidgety in the pocket and just is accurate. I mean, we can't have any turnovers against this Detroit offense. They're going to kill us if we do that. So
yeah, I agree. Borgo, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, just as you were talking about it and him being fidgety in the pocket, I'm just getting like the worst visuals of like blindside pressure coming and then him rolling out of the pocket straight into the defender and getting crushed. So, yeah, definitely some bad memories that you brought up there just by not intentionally, but like, yeah, I mean, he needs to come out and sling it. I think for us to be successful, though, he'll need to spread the field out. I agree with definitely wanting to take care of the ball. We can't really afford to give this team any turnovers or takeaways. But I like when we start our first drive with those big shot plays. And we did it even with Bajent, too, where we send Mooney or DJ Moore down the field and try to hit him for a 30-yard pass right off the rip. I mean, we've done that in like 5 out of the last 5 games that I've watched, I probably more even. But that opens the field up a lot, and then it allows us to use all of our threats, including Fields' legs and that run game as well. So I definitely think establish the run early, which shouldn't be a problem running behind the big hosses on the right side. Wright's been run blocking super well, and Tevin Jenkins has been run blocking very well alongside of him. So, you know, if we keep things rolling there, that'd be great. And to establish that and then establish the passing game beyond that, I'm taking the over. Yeah, there's going to be. I think it could be Chargers Detroit Part 2. I'd like to see us expose their defense, but they are pretty stout. But if there's a guy to do it, you know, this is a place for Fields to certainly prove himself.
Yeah, I agree. I think that segues well into the running back situation, which we may see Khalil Herbert come back this week, and Deontay Foreman, has been playing well. So where does Herbert fit in there? He's got a nice balance of speed and power. Deontay Foreman seems more strictly like that power back, although he was moving well last week against Carolina. And not to mention, you still have Roshan Johnson, and you got to think that Darrington Evans sees his touches disappear pretty quickly. But between those top 3 guys, you have a pretty dynamic backfield that gives a defense a lot of different looks and problems. But I think the strength of the Detroit's defense is the front 7, and I do think that the Bears may have a little bit more trouble running the ball against them than. Yeah, Blasingame he's good too, but he's more their fullback, and yeah, so I think the Detroit run defense gives the Bears some problems, even though the offensive line has been playing really well and they've been running the ball well. I think that Detroit, they've got like a different attitude up front, and they just play really hard in the trenches there. So if the Bears are going to have any chance to win, Fields is going to have to come back and use his arm and likely extend some plays with his legs as well. So I want to get the run game going early, but I think they're going to have a little bit of trouble doing that. Tom, you want to touch on the running back situation and how you think they're going to stack up against the Lions?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Detroit is playing pretty well right now, and I'm kind of eating my words. I said we're going to go 2-1, and the next we got to win 1 against them if we have any chance. But running back situation, I think I'd like to see Deontay Foreman in goal line situations, even more so than that. But you're right. Like Herbert's more elusive in that, and so kind of like what we saw last night with the Bills and Murray and what's the other guy's name?
Cook.
Yeah,
he's on the fantasy team, dude.
I can't figure it out. I'd like to see something like that. I don't like when teams just shy away from someone that has been doing good all year when they get someone else back or whatever. I like the split aspect of running back. Keep them fresh.
Yeah. Thoughts, Forgo?
Yeah, I mean, I love that was your last point there, Tom, because you took my first point. But I mean, Deontay Foreman's been great when we needed him to be great. People were talking about Bajent replacing Justin Fields, and it's like why don't we talk about D'Onta Foreman earning a starting spot at some capacity? You know, like I don't think he needs to get 90% of the game's carries. I don't know if he's built for 90% of the game's carries.
Old is he? Foreman.
He's definitely our oldest back.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how old he is though.
But no, I mean, definitely want to reward him for playing well, and I don't really see a downside. It's like he has exposed a lot of defenses and had pretty big chunk plays here and there. So like, who cares if he's old or whatever it is, or if we're paying somebody else more? Like, I think we still keep handing him the ball. And unfortunately, I mean, it's a rookie who's probably like, again, he's our power back versus Herbert. Herbert's the more elusive pass catchers kind of back. So, I mean, if Roschon Johnson gets healthy, and he had a little funk on him, I agree, Jesse, where he wasn't really running the same way as he was early in the year. And I don't know if it is just kind of running a little bit scared from the concussion. I mean, I doubt it, but if it takes him, he's still a rookie, you know. So if it takes him just a little bit longer to get his legs under him and stuff, you know, I think that'd be a reasonable thing to play behind D'Onta Foreman and continue to watch him keep crushing. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm with it. But yeah, Herbert coming back with that line doing well. I'm interested to see how that plays out for us.
Some of the you know, running back duos in the league, and you know, Bears are up there. I mean, we have three solid backs, and I don't know if that's just me being a Bears fan or what, but you know,
no, I think we talked about the depth of the Bears running back room, and they've had to lean on it this year, and it's paid off that they made that investment in so many good players. And we haven't even seen Travis Homer, you know, who played well with the Seahawks last year. So if things really went downhill and two of those guys got injured, we've still got two other good running back candidates that we can throw into a game and we can depend on, which is what we need, frankly, because the quarterback play hasn't been as consistent. So
consistent is key.
Yeah. So we'll get more into the breakdown of the Bears Lions game and our Sunday preview, which will be out later in the week. So tune into that. But we do want to touch on the draft pick situation right now after week 10. You know, as much as we want to see the Bears do well and watch them the rest of the season, I think a lot of Bears fans are looking forward to the draft in 2024. Borgo, you want to start us off? What do you think with our current situation?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of talking about it, how I was in my own head watching the Carolina game a little bit. They do find themselves in a peculiar spot. I think that they stink, and they will likely finish with a high draft pick, whether it's the number 1 overall or not. That'd be tough. I think kind of depending on where they finish at, I would like to deal their pick. I don't think that I'm incredibly interested in Caleb Williams or interested in him at all. It looked like he was like sick out there. I was watching his game, and like he'd hand the ball off and the running back would run for 15 yards and like he would run 5 yards to get to the huddle where it was going to be. And he'd be like gas. And it's like, he's probably sick, but I'm a Caleb Williams hater. So I was just like,
he's toxic, dude. Ever since he said he wanted equity in a franchise, he's just been a complete.
Yeah. The crying
out of left field.
Yeah. I never liked him. Continue to like him less. Drake May, he looks great. He does look good. I don't know if he's like the plug and play option. I think we deal that early pick. I would like to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. Again, we're a long ways away from where the chips fall. And like, I kind of hate looking that far forward, and like thinking about all the pain that I'm going to have to endure between now and then. I think we trade one of the two.
The season's not over, you know. Right? I'm still looking at the positives this year for the Bears. But yeah, if we're talking draft picks, I think I agree. Caleb Williams, toxic, dude. You know, I went back and forth for a little bit. I don't think I like him. So
I mean, talented for sure. Like I watched a few crazy plays that like I would not expect a college quarterback to make.
Johnny Manziel made crazy plays too. It was insane.
It's not.
Yeah. So you know, and then May, what's the other quarterback?
Drake May.
For North Carolina.
I'm not buying into him. I think he's good. He's tall, 6'4", right? I think he's 6'4".
They just had a shootout with somebody.
Yeah, I think I just don't think I do believe we need to draft a quarterback just later in the round. I think we, get we add to that, rookie defense that we got. Well, now I guess they're not rookies anymore. Second year, we add to that, and then get another receiver. There's not many teams that have two. I think we're in pretty good shape in the draft order to build on what we have this year.
Yeah,
but quarterback. I think we can. Later in the rounds, we could pick one up too.
You're so pained because you just want Fields to play well.
Not
have to worry about.
That's why I'm saying
what quarterback are we going to draft? No, we don't. We don't need to because we have Fields.
We do need to draft a quarterback.
I would love to get a quarterback like Bo Nix.
You always need to draft a quarterback.
No, we have Bagent. We have Bagel, baby, right? Remember
we need
that?
One more in that
first stream. Bagel's
good, but we need someone that's a fresh off of college, good quarterback, second round. That is gonna,
second round.
I don't see it. I just don't see it. I mean, Tom, I think that's an interesting take, and I think it does make sense with the Bears quarterback situation.
And we're in the rebuild.
I don't see it. I don't see him taking a quarterback. That early. No.
My opinion is
chat. Let us know what you think in the comments below. All right. What do the Bears do? What do the Bears do with their draft picks next year? Okay.
Trade it. Let's say what? Trade it.
What positions do we target? Do we trade it? What do we go after if we are trading it? Things like that.
What do you guys think?
There are a lot of different things we can do.
Yeah. Give it to us
early.
Personally, I think with the draft picks, I think we need to strengthen the secondary at the defense, and they use one of those top two picks to get a defensive back. And if Jalen Johnson's out the door next year, then we need a cornerback. We need a lockdown. We need a lockdown cornerback. Tyreek Stevenson. I haven't loved what I've seen out of him this year. He's been on the field a lot, which is great, and he's getting a lot of experience. But
he's a true rookie, correct? This isn't his second year. He's okay. That's what they.
Yeah. So, we'll see how he plays out and develops. But I think they need to get another really good cornerback, and then look with that second pick at the interior, either on the defense or the offensive side of the ball. I really don't care which one, but just continue to beef up the trenches and get big, mean guys in there that can move people around, because the teams that have those guys are the ones that are successful in the league right now. And the Bears are getting there, but they need to.
Like a Jalen Carter type?
Yeah, that would have been.
I like that, Jesse.
Although Darnell Wright.
Damn it.
Sorry, that was.
Darnell Wright was a good pick. Okay, let's not hate on Darnell. All right, so.
No, that's true. That's true. Kyler Gordon, though. What do you think about Kyler Gordon? I mean, he's been playing well. Like you said, we needed to.
Isn't he like their nickel package guy?
Nickel, yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's decent. And Jaquan Brisker's good, and he's still young as well.
He's good. Yeah,
Eddie Jackson, he's been hurt a lot this year, so I don't really know what's going on with him, or what his contract situation is, to be honest. Yeah. But the corners need to be reinforced, and
for sure.
I also think TJ Edwards was definitely the better of the two signings out of the linebackers so far. Tremaine Edmonds is hurt right now, but even prior to his injury, he hasn't been living up to all the money that Chicago gave him to come to Chicago. And TJ Edwards is flying around the field, just racking up the tackles. He has more tackles. He has like 50 more tackles than the second most highest tackler on the Bears roster. He's the first.
He's up there. I think he's up there in terms of the NFL for tackles.
Yeah, he's just sure. So I'd like to see that out of Tremaine Edmonds, but
let's just give him away.
Well, I mean, that kind of segues nicely, and we've been hitting this perfect because, I mean, you're talking about having guys and putting all the pieces together on the defensive side of the ball. offensive line, huge place that we could talk about that as well with the return of Nate Davis, whether that's this week, which it seems like it's this week. It was a high ankle sprain. All the signs are pointing to him being back. Tevin Jenkins and Darnell Wright have been playing great on that right side of the ball. That's a tough one. I know Flus has kind of come out and, said nothing definitive naturally, but that's what Flus does. Jesse, give me some, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it helps to get a veteran back on the offensive line. Nate Davis, we brought him in for a reason, and I think he's going to fit in well. It's a good problem to have when he's been out and the guys that we've put there in his place have stepped up and played well. But if we can have more depth at the offensive line, it's a position, or those positions on the line are very prone to injury. You see it on every team. So we know that if one of those guys goes down, we're going to be able to plug and play guys, and they've been getting reps at different spots. So that's going to only help us out later in the year. Playoffs are out of the conversation at this point, but it's still going to be good reps that everybody's getting out there on the line. And, if we can keep those guys around for next year, 2024, watch out.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. There might be like a slight lack of cohesion when they get back together and they're kind of shuffling around. So there could be a few big splash plays by the, Detroit defense. But I think once they start to get together and, that plug and play becomes more of a thing and they're more versatile, that is a mean offensive line. Sorry, Tom, I kind of jumped you there.
Oh, you're good. The more, the merrier in terms of linemen. Like Jesse said, they're always getting hurt. They're in the trenches, getting stepped on, and it's never good. So I like seeing our healthy linemen.
Not expecting to keep it around for too long, though.
I hope that we can, I hope we can snap the ball, shotgun to our quarterback.
Oh, no.
I've seen way too many times this year.
Dude, that is such a killer, man. When we're on an offensive drive and then there's just an errant snap and it's like,
yeah,
are you kidding me? We were just getting into a rhythm.
I don't see that with other teams as much.
Right.
And I don't know if it's just because I'm zeroing in on it, but I'm like, let's snap the quarterback the ball so we can do this job.
Amen.
Yeah.
And I think that wraps up our third episode of the Chitown Lowdown. Do not forget to hit like and subscribe down at the bottom of the page.
Do you like us?
And continue to consume our content and get to know more information about the team that you love, the Chicago Bears.
If we get over 200 or if we get over 100 subscribers by the next video, Tom's doing the whole pod shirtless.
I'll start. Whoa. I'll start my weather segment. So I know you guys like the weather.
Hey, well, Sunday, we'll have the one to look ahead for the game, so we can go through some of the games and get the weather going. But we'll plan on it. You guys make sure you stay tuned for the next episode as it comes out. But till next time.